Do you ever wonder why you always start strong but then completely fall off? Why your diet and motivation seems to vanish at the exact same point every single time? What if the reason you think you're failing wasn't motivation? It was something else entirely. In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly why most people get stuck at the hardest part of change and how to actually break through. Over the last 10 years, I've coached over 10,000 people, sold thousands of recipe books, and everyone seems to have the same problem. And I think I have the solution. Whenever you first start any diet, around 50% of people fall off after 2 to 4 weeks. And even those lucky people who do get the result, 80 to 95% of them will regain the weight that they lost within the first year. So let me show you something. Whenever you first start any diet at all, or anything when it comes to change, there's 5 stages, and most people only ever get to stage 3. First stage is uninformed optimism. Whenever you first start anything, you're all excited about it. It's new, it's fresh, it's exciting. You buy all the new gear, new gym outfit, skipping rope, boxing gloves, maybe some home workout kit, maybe even one of my recipe books. And that's all well and good for the first 2 to 4 weeks when motivation's high. Stage 2 comes in, evidently, and this is where the struggle starts to come into play. It's actually called informed pessimism. So you start to look at all the diets you've done in the past, you look at all the times that you've failed in the past, and then that little niggling voice in your head starts to just say, nah, this isn't going to work. So you start to second guess yourself, and as a result, you go into stage 3. And this is unfortunately inevitable. It's a rite of passage to get the result. But the unfortunate reality of this valley of despair part is that you end up in this cycle over and over and over again, because you think you've failed, and then at that point you go back up to the top and you start again a few weeks or months or years later with less and less trust for yourself. And I've done this for years of my life until I figured it out. And it's not some like woo-woo solution. This is an actual method that works. And I'm going to show you why. So the next 2 stages that people need to get to actually get the result and stop going in that cycle is stage 4 and stage 5. Stage 4 is just to really give you a bit of hope. You start to see the result after being in that valley of despair, or the breaking point where most people give up. And then number 5 is obviously the result that you're looking for. Okay, well, how do you get to 4 and 5? I'm going to show you. The problem with this model is it's technically correct, but it doesn't show you the full story, or certainly not the solution. Use a blue pen. So this is where most people go wrong. They wait for that motivation to kick in, whether it's a holiday, a trip to Ibiza, a stag do, a hen do, a wedding, you name it. And I spoke about this for years. The problem with anything like that is that they think it's motivation that they've got, and in actual fact, it's lack of time, which leads to something that sounds like motivation, but it's desperation. So how do we bypass this? And how do we bypass willpower? Because willpower is not something that is actually needed in abundance. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because whenever you first start a diet, if you want to get to that result, it's not motivation that continues you there. And it's not like a lot of people say it's discipline, it's this and it's that, it's the whole David Goggins approach. In the real world, as a parent myself, discipline has to be a factor, but ultimately, we're emotional beings. I certainly am. So the solution is a wee bit more simple than that and realistic than that. It's enjoyment and interest. So for example, let's just say there's something that you enjoy. It could be sitting on a beach, having a beer, chatting to your friends, family. You bypass these, you don't need willpower for that because you enjoy it. Is it going to get you any closer to your goals? Probably not, but just humour my point here. And then when you get interest as well, and you're interested in something, you're interested in learning about it, you're interested in progressing at it, and you're not using it out of a state of punishment to get to your desperate holiday that you've got coming up, then you kind of bypass the motivation and the willpower to get to the result, because time's going to happen anyway. So this is where I went wrong for the longest time, where a lot of my clients go wrong initially when they're starting a diet before they come on board. So when it comes to starting just about anything, it has to start with enjoyment. It shouldn't start with endless hours of cardio, especially if you don't enjoy that and you're not doing some sort of endurance sport. The enjoyment comes with progression. So a number that's not about the scale weight going down, it could be progressing your weights in the gym and actually genuinely enjoying it. It could be, and this is my advice for most people, I'm not CrossFit or High Rocks myself, but I found boxing, and that's my enjoyment, because I can't ever be perfect at it, I'm far from it, but I've massively progressed since I've started, and I've never stopped. And with ADHD, that's saying something 15, 16 years later. So when you enjoy something and you're interested in it, you're interested in progression, you maybe watch some videos on it, that's where you bypass these things and it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your kind of new identity. If you feel as if you're lazy, etc., you've probably just not found the thing that you actually enjoy and that you're interested in. And that's where like High Rocks and all these different kind of gym-related kind of hybrid sports have come in. And I'm not like massively for them, but what it did is it gave people a sense of community, a date to work towards that wasn't a holiday, something that was actually progressive. And when you can find these things, it allows you to get the result. You're working at actually progressing, not just becoming a smaller version of yourself and punishing yourself in the gym. And that just doesn't come with just the gym. It comes with enjoyment of your diet, which is pretty much most of what I speak about on this channel, is swapping the foods that you currently eat because you enjoy them and faking it a little bit. Swapping it for a fake away curry, a fake away pizza, so that you actually enjoy it and you can beat the test of time. And if you want to learn how to enjoy your diet, build a meal plan, I've got some free links down below. If you're interested in me helping you with my one-to-one coaching, links down below for that as well. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one.